Let's take a look at Technical College, what it offers and how you can use that as a huge stepping stone to success. Dr. Forrest Mahan is the president of Aiken Technical College, kind enough to come down to Television Park and be with us today. Dr. Mahan, thank you so much for leading Aiken Tech and for being with us today.
Well, Brad, thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure. My first question is a generic one. What is a technical school? Because I've heard a lot of people over the years say, I'm going to go learn a trade, therefore I'm going to go to a technical school. What is a technical college?
In South Carolina, a technical college is part of a larger system of 16 colleges that is designed to help individuals do one of two things: either go into short-term training that can get them into the workforce, or serve as a springboard for them to get their first 2 years out of the way to attend a 4-year college. Aiken Tech, as one of these 16 technical colleges, has a service area of Aiken County, and we serve the people of Aiken County as well as the industries and businesses there to sort of provide for the pipeline of workers that go into the workforce, and also as that springboard to maybe transfer to University of South Carolina, Aiken, or any other 4-year college.
I know you don't want to name every single profession, but what are some of the main ones that tech graduates can go into?
We really have 4 key areas that we focus upon. We have an Associate of Arts, Associate in Science degree, which is the springboard to a 4-year college, and they can transfer that degree. We have an area of what we call industrial technology, or rather we would say industrial education, that focuses on advanced manufacturing, but also the nuclear field, with the Savannah River site, and we've got Plant Vogel, and we have the VC Summer site. And then in addition, we have business and computer technology with cyber coming to the CSRA. That's something that we are really getting on top of in terms of allowing for credentials to develop. And also, very important to everybody, healthcare. There's a lot of different opportunities for associate degree nursing, licensed practical nursing. We are developing a physical therapy assisting program. So there's a wide variety of programs that individuals can get into that can get them into the workforce within a year or two.
Well, so what's the point of choosing that route versus just doing all 4 of your years at a traditional college?
It depends upon the individual. We often think of traditional colleges as being the 4-year route, and we think of the 18-year-olds that now mom and dad are about to ship off to school, say University of South Carolina, Clemson, College of Charleston, University of Georgia. But the 2-year college route are for people who are maybe at 18 not completely sure what they want to do yet, and they want to take a little bit of time to sort of figure out what it is they want to do. They may be more inclined to go directly into a field that meets their skill set. They may be much more technically inclined. So welding, which after maybe a 2-year degree, you could start out making $60,000 a year, would make better sense. So we do that for young people, but we also reach out to the adult learner. We're there for non-traditional adults who maybe didn't feel college was right for them. They went into the workforce and maybe they've plateaued. Maybe it's time to come back to school to get that next step in the career. So we're really there to kind of meet the local needs of Aiken County, but also we do work with the colleges in the surrounding areas of the CSRA.
Well, I think you may have just answered one of my next questions, which is what's the benefit to getting that technical college diploma or degree versus going and learning, say, welding from a welder? You know, why can't I just go hang out with him for a little while till I'm a good welder as well? Are you going to make a lot more money with that diploma?
With the right now, there's such demand with such low unemployment. We have individuals who may even get the job before they finish their credential, but we always encourage our students to finish that credential because no one can take that from them. Once they have that credential, it's going to transfer wherever they want to go. And we also believe in a stackable credential concept. In other words, they may start out with a certificate and they may come back for the 2-year degree, and then they may then use that as a springboard to a 4-year degree. So we believe that people can learn and earn at the same time, work and go to school, and this is a very, appropriate, very affordable, and that's the key thing, affordability. Higher education can run into high costs, and so we work very hard with our students to make sure that they can have as little or no debt as possible.
When it comes to learning some of the professions that you've discussed already, do employers care if it's a 2-year or a 4-year degree?
It will depend upon the exact job that they're looking to hire for. For example, we developed with Savannah River Nuclear Solutions a nuclear fundamental certificate which gets them in the door and then therefore can then serve as a springboard for them to get further training. We often say it's a good idea before you go into a profession, you might want to get an entry-level job, and in many ways the employer will more than likely help defray the cost if they go back to college. So in that way, it's a way of making sure you can get through college and get through as debt-free as possible.
Are y'all on this cyber bandwagon? Are you preparing students for that?
We are on the cyber bandwagon.
Yeah.
We are working very closely with our partners in Aiken County and also across the river. We work and communicate and coordinate with Augusta University and communicate with Augusta Tech, because cyber, much like the nuclear industry, is something that sort of will spill across both sides of the river. So it's very unique to be able to have that cross-state line plus multiple counties working together. And so we're working with the Aiken County Public School District to provide a cyber certificate for Silver Bluff High School. When they graduate, they'll have 18 credit hours towards a cyber certificate, which we hope would encourage them to come to Aiken Tech.
Right.
And we're also working for a pathway to get people into going to USC Aiken. So we're very unique. As I said, we have a service area of Aiken County, and we have a school district which serves the county, one school district, and then we have a four-year university all within a 10-mile radius. So people in Aiken County can go from K through 12 to 2-year to a 4-year college without ever leaving the area, which is really our purpose. We serve the people of our county. Any other state would call us a community college, but the technical is what's the big selling point today.
What about classes that meet people's schedules? We talked about older folks, not 18-year-olds, maybe making a change in life. When can you go to class at Aiken Tech?
Well, we have a degree of flexibility. There are online options, and we have evening classes and then day classes. And typically what we're able to do, according to the program that they're going into, some may have what we call high contact hours. If they're going into a nursing program, they're going to be clinical rotations. If they're going into welding, they're going to be long lab hours. So we always try to work with those individuals to assure they know basically what the expectations are and what it is they can be successful, but we have a variety of options and moving towards even some hybrid models as well.
What kind of feedback do you get from the employers? I know that they're happy to get these kids, and in some cases older folks. What do they say to you about how you're preparing them?
Well, we have advisory boards for all of our fields, and we have the people in the industries and the fields and the businesses come to us at least twice a year and say, okay, this program, this is what you're doing well. We need to see a little bit more of this, maybe a little less of that. If you're thinking in terms of computer technology, the technology advances so quickly, we have to keep pace with that.
Sure.
Healthcare is much the same way, nuclear demand. And so when you've got those things, the industries, we are there for them, and we exist to help give them the workforce they need. So we listen very closely to what they say, and we basically say if we need to do something better, tell us what it is and we'll do it.
How do we navigate the financial aid process? How can you help us?
Well, what we do is there is a FAFSA form. It's the free application for federal student aid. But this is the form that everybody needs to fill out if they want to qualify for any financial aid. If there's need-based, they could qualify for Pell Grants, which may cover the whole cost of the tuition and maybe even a little bit of living expenses, but that would be based upon their qualifications. In South Carolina, you also have to fill this out to qualify for lottery tuition assistance, which if you register for a minimum of 6 credit hours, you qualify for lottery tuition assistance. And then also between that, we do have student loans, but we work very closely with the students because we don't believe anybody going through a 2-year college should have a lot of debt. So we do a lot of counseling to assure they're not taking on more debt than they really would need to. And we also have a grant called the WORK Grant, W-O-R-C, which is the Workforce Opportunities and Regional Careers Grant, which provides scholarships specifically for particular programs. So if we have someone who's interested in a particular program, we say you need to make sure you explore what extra funding is there. And also through the FAFSA, they qualify for potential scholarships from the Aiken Technical College Foundation.
We're recording this broadcast in early August.
Right.
Is it too late to jump on for the fall semester?
It really isn't. It would be a tight timetable. We begin classes on August the 20th.
Yeah.
And we are open door, that's the thing, but we have to make sure that all students understand that even though we are open door, there has to be placement testing, they have to test into the college level work, and we provide support and if we need it, so what we call bridge courses to kind of brush them up on math and English and reading if by chance they're an adult who's been out of school for 20 years. So they might need that little brush up. So it's never too late and they can go ahead and start the process, get the FAFSA form filled out, get their applications in and reach out and we will be glad to sort of guide them through the process. Now, if by chance it's too tight of a timetable, then there's always the spring and there's always the summer,
right,
and there's also late start. So we may have some courses that would start maybe 5 weeks into the term.
Well, I appreciate all that you're doing, not only for the kids in high school with the dual enrollment, earning credit hours while they are still in high school, but also for people who might want to choose a new path in life.
And we're very proud of the partnership with Aiken County Public School District Midland Valley High School, which is the closest high school to us in proximity. This May, they will have the first cohort of early college scholars graduating with their associate degree in arts or sciences prior to even getting their high school diploma. So they will have their first 2 years of college out of the way at the age of 18.
Well, that is wonderful. Thank you to you and your team at Aiken Technical College. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Brad, for having me, and glad to be here.
Absolutely. I told you it would fly by.
So
9+ minutes with Dr. Forrest Mahan. We'll bring him back. In the meantime, give his office a call, give Aiken Technical College a call, find out more about what he discussed today.